What's going on, guys? Evan the Dark Souls 2 enthusiast here, bringing another Dark Souls 2 gameplay commentary. And this time we're going to be doing a special commentary in relation to another upload I did, which is how to get the Rebel Shield and how to get past the Flame Salamanders and how to get down to the Flame Salamanders, all within the first hour to 2 hours of gameplay. The Rebel Shield is significant because it can be 100% resistant to any element in the game or physical, depending on how you upgrade it. So the first things first is you want to come here and talk to this cat and buy the silver cat ring, which basically reduces fall damage by a huge amount, which will be a useful ring throughout the game. I mean, you would not be buying that ring specifically to do this so much as to have it, period, because it's good for everything. And then I just equipped every other ring I had laying around. Most of this is available in the first hour to 30 minutes into the game, where you can get all these minor HP boosting items, all of which are of minimal consequence to this process. The silver cat ring should be enough, unless your character has practically no HP, because you are going to have to take some fall damage to reach the Flame Salamanders. There are multiple ways to reach this area, and I will talk about that throughout the video, but like I said, the main purpose of this is to show my community how to get the Rebel Shield, because a lot of people have been struggling against magic or against particular elements throughout the game, whether that be PvE or PvP, and this shield can answer all your problems and more, because it's kind of a jack-of-all-trades shield. The downside is it does take 29 strength to wield, which doesn't work on a lot of builds, but if you need a more weight-efficient way to block magic, you can get the magic shield, which is in another video I'm uploading, or have uploaded rather, which shares exactly how to get a shield that requires 8 strength and 14 dexterity to counter magic. So basically these are a series of uploads on how to counter magic, and I hope you guys find them useful. But without further ado, you'll jump to this bonfire here, which is the Cardinal Tower's bonfire. You'll want to kill these two dudes up here. Now, there's two methods to do this. The retrieval of the item is down in the salamanders below. And I describe those as either basically dash and die, or you can snipe, and I'll demonstrate both methods, starting with dash and die, hence the name dash and die. If you're going to dash and die, I suggest you spend all your souls before you start this. So you'll drop down here, plenty of HP left, so clearly you can do this with a very minimal amount of HP. So you'll want to run around here and grab the various trinkets down here. The problem is while you do, the Flame Salamander is going to go ahead and open fire on you, if you will, and his aggro range is basically everything in the pit down here, and to get all the items down here, you're essentially going to have to kill him, more or less. I've never successfully been able to dash and go and grab everything down here, because there's a treasure chest behind it, and you're almost guaranteed a death while trying to do the treasure chest. It's also hard to roll through some of that, so he's already queuing up another shot as I stand up, and then I'm just dead. Rather than rolling, it's probably better just to sprint away, or to keep your camera on him so you can try to do iframes on the hits, but either way it's going to be rough. So I got 2 out of the 4 items in that pit, so at this point if you're trying to dash and die or whatever, you just respawn, jump down, leave your soul staying, because you should have spent your souls before you attempted this little quest. Then you'll grab the last 2 items down there, and then you'll be free to proceed into the next area. That's all very possible. I mean, there is absolutely no need to kill the salamanders. It actually helps if you lower your equip load. My character is a little too fat and heavy in that knight armor. He's not able to move at full speed or roll at full speed, so that would be a good tip if you're trying to dash and go. It'd just be to strip off everything. But however, if you're going to snipe, which is I recommend, you need to either bring a bow or some spells with a set of binoculars, and I'll demonstrate these spells. The bow is self-explanatory. I would come with 200 arrows and the strongest bow you have, and just get ready to be really patient, shoot the salamanders for a while. You can go on this side and shoot the one on the far wall, and come over here and shoot the one that's going to aggro you the minute you land down there. They do have significant HP and significant armor, so that's something to think about. I happen to have lightning spears. I'm on a faith caster, and you get lightning spear pretty early, so you'll see my process, which is basically just manually aim with the binoculars, because FromSoft didn't see fit to add manual aiming to any of the castables in this game, which I think was just a huge letdown. So waste 1 spear there. It actually had me kind of nervous, considering how much damage these things can actually take. So we just retreat. Patience is key here. Boom. Nothing to it, really. He has no way to attack you back. He doesn't move, so it's just a free kill on the salamander. So they can drop pyromancies too. I think they can drop a Great Fireball, which is I guess, marginally useful early in the game, but not something that's worth farming, that's for certain. So we're going to swig up here and get to full and loot the rest of this stuff. Nothing here is all that useful. The Hawk Ring is a unique ring in that it boosts the range of bows, which can be marginally useful in certain areas, but useful but never actually necessary. And there's a cracked red eye orb, so I can invade people with my +4 mace if I felt so inclined. So there's a fire resistance ring. That's, once again, not particularly useful. By the time it's useful, you'll have better stuff to deal with fire anyway, but it is some free fire defense early in the game. So as you can see, there's nothing else down here, just the giant fire plumes coming up from the ground, which are pretty cool, although pointless. So this guy's going to attack you as you run through. If I hadn't rolled there, I probably could have made it. So, you'll see me chuck another flask, and the last of our items are down here. There's 2. The traditional way to get in through here is through the door over there, but you don't get the key to that door for some time. So, nice thing about them is now they'll physically attack you as opposed to fire, and it still hurts really bad, but a lot less than some of the fire attacks did. And once again, this would be a lot safer and a lot easier if I had worn the correct armor, but I figured I was going to be able to pull it off with this armor, and, spoiler alert, it turns out I do, so kind of no worries. The last item is the most important item, which is the Rebel Shield. Now, there's 2 ways to get into this area. One is the way you're watching. The other is, in the same place where the fire longsword is, it's actually possible to leap through a crack in the wall and get the sword, and get the shield and the rest of stuff's down here. I find that more difficult to do, and I think it's better just to do the drop method, because it's easier to get more of the items that way. So you'll take a hit here, you're going to run through, and now we're outside here, back in the Forest of the Giants, and this is where the fire sword is, where most players are familiar with how to get the fire sword. It's one of the most recovered items on the YouTube. Then at that point, I recommend you just pop a homeward bone, use homeward, or just run out of the forest, whatever you're comfortable with, and make out with your new loot. Unfortunately, most of this stuff is not useful early in the game. There's really no point to go down there. But it's something that's not hard to do, so it's not like it's a huge sacrifice to give it a shot. And it does get you a Rebel Shield early on if that's something you're into. So the process is so easy. If you come adequately prepared, and you don't have to do 2 takes like I did just to demonstrate different methodologies, you can probably get the whole thing done in 5 minutes and just be a couple more items better off. But, nothing you need to do, but definitely worth doing, checking out. And once again, this is just a quick demonstration on how to get the Rebel Shield at the start of the game, or really at any point in the game if it's something you decide you need. Alright guys, I hope this was informative or useful, and I'll see you guys next time.